You know, I reckon I might just have pulled off the priciest payback ever aimed at a homeowners association. It ended up costing them their fancy houses, their boss lady's freedom, and the whole crooked setup they'd cooked up over years, all because they tried to swipe 3,000 acres of my family's old ranch land, land that's been in our veins since the old frontier days when maps were still being scratched out by hand. Yeah, they fenced it off legally, or so they thought, and flipped it to some slick developer. But I turned the tables in a way that was sharp, sneaky, and totally above board, selling their precious homes right out from under their noses without breaking a single law. Stick with me here, 'cause this tale spirals into something wilder than you'd believe, and hey, drop in the comments where you're tuning in from. I love seeing how these stories bounce around the globe. It kicked off not with some big explosion, but this dull, off-white envelope slapped onto the weathered pine post at my gate. The kind of bland paperwork that screams red tape and soul-draining office drones. For a bit of backstory, I'm a fraud investigator by trade, the guy who digs through endless spreadsheets and ledgers to sniff out that one shady transaction that topples empires for big corporate folks. Patience isn't just my thing, it's my secret weapon, and boy, did it come in handy here. When I'm not buried in numbers downtown, my escape is the ranch. Not some bustling operation anymore, just vast stretches of wild grasslands, thick old-growth woods, and open fields my great-great-grandpa claimed way back when this was all untamed territory. My folks passed it to me with one rule: keep the asphalt at bay, don't let the sprawl swallow it up. Trouble was, the sprawl was creeping closer every day. A couple years prior, this outfit called Prestige Builds snapped up the land next door and slapped together Willow Creek Estates, this ultra-tidy suburb of oversized houses where everything's regulated down to the shade of your curtains. Naturally, it came with an HOA, the Willow Creek Homeowners Association, where forgetting to mow your lawn could land you in a full-blown hearing. Our properties butted right up against each other on the east side, and my rugged natural spread seemed to rub them the wrong way, like it was a slap in the face to their perfectly pruned hedges and neutral palates. Leading the pack was the HOA president, Karen Vance. Picture a woman always in overpriced athleisure, cruising in a massive silver Escalade, with a bob haircut sharp enough to slice bread. Her default expression was this pitying smirk, like she was forever judging a messy garage sale. She'd been on a tear against anything unkempt, and my place was her prime target. At first it was small stuff, notices about excessive foliage that was basically the forest doing its thing, fines for an unauthorized rustic outbuilding, which was our century-old stable, a legit historical site, even gripes that my boundary fence, standing since before statehood, clashed with their community vibe standards by a whopping 4 inches. I'd chuckle, file them under neighborhood nuisance nonsense, and fire back one calm, certified letter with surveys, history docs, and a polite reminder of my rights, figuring even Karen's crew had to see reason. Nope, wrong call. The complaints ramped up, each one more nitpicky than the last. Then came that envelope, the real gut punch, not another fine, but a county notice saying the HOA had grabbed my entire 3,000 acres through some neglected land seizure, claiming it was abandoned, a hazard, overgrown eyesore threatening fires and property values. Worse, they'd already sold it off to Prestige Builds for what turned out to be a fat payday, with plans filed for Willow Creek Phase 2. More cookie-cutter mansions, fake ponds, the works. My heart slammed like a jackhammer as I scanned it. This wasn't some mix-up. It was theft wrapped in legalese, stamped official, with Karen Vance's name right there as the lead petitioner, backed by a cutthroat law firm infamous for bulldozing through dodgy deals. The shock hit hard, like the ground dropping out, but it crystallized into this icy resolve. They'd pegged me as some hermit they'd roll over easy, not knowing I unravel fraud for fun. Standing there, paper trembling in my grip, I swore silently to my ancestors. I'd reclaim every acre, but more than that, I'd tear down their polished facade using their own twisted rules against them. They wanted war? Fine. I'd audit their asses into oblivion. First things first, I hunkered down in my downtown workspace, that sterile glass box turning into my war room, the envelope tacked up like a battle flag amid my usual fraud charts. I plunged into public records, deeds from the 1870s cross-checked with satellite shots, tax stubs proving I'd paid up faithfully, HOA charters that read like a dictator's handbook, dictating grass types to bird feeder heights. Karen's history popped up too. Past addresses, donations to developer-friendly polls, lawsuits where she'd shorted contractors, a trail of entitlement screaming, "Rules are for suckers." Her hubby, Robert Vance, was the treasurer, a cozy power duo that screamed conflict of interest. Prestige builds, shady operators with fines for dumping waste, lawsuits galore. They reeked of backroom deals. This wasn't random. They'd eyed my land, knew I wouldn't sell, so they weaponized the HOA to fabricate abandonment, skipping real notice to me. Armed with facts, I skipped the rage-fueled rant and went surgical, drafted a crisp letter IDing myself as owner, citing deeds and taxes, demanding they unwind the grab and sale pronto, or face lawsuits chasing millions in damages. Copied their lawyers, Prestige's bigwig, sent it every way. Mail, email, even a server at Karen's door. 4 days later, my phone buzzes, blocked number. "Mr. Harlan?" she purrs, voice like honey over gravel. I stay quiet. Silence draws out slips, always. "Karen Vance here. Got your cute little letter." Pause. "Not sure what you're after. County ruled fair and square that land's a blight, fire risk, dragging us down. Prestige'll turn it into something nice. Trails, a fountain maybe." I keep cool. "Community good doesn't mean you steal my ranch, Mrs. Vance. 150 years of taxes say it's mine, and your abandonment claims pure fiction." She huffs. "Our attorneys did it by the book. You snoozed on contesting." "Can't contest what you never served properly," I shoot back. "Taping junk to a gate on 3,000 acres? Fraud, and you know it." She flips. "Look, we're being kind. Prestige offers 60 grand to drop this. Walk away quiet. 60 for land worth 50 mil? Insult city." "That's not kindness, Karen. It's admitting guilt, trying to hush me up. Thanks for the ammo." Dead air. Then she snarls. "You're out of your depth. We'll drown you in court costs till you're broke. Last chance." "No," I say, grinning inwardly. "Yours. Chat with Robert about fiduciary duty, 'cause when I'm through, fees'll be your smallest headache." Click. That call lit the fuse. Arrogant crooks, ripe for the plucking. Time to gut their finances. I needed their books, but as an outsider, direct access was a no-go. They'd stall forever. Enter Harold Wilkins, ex-board guy I dug up, a retired surveyor who'd quit early after clashing with Karen's micromanaging. I show up at his modest townhouse. He knows the ranch instantly. Told him to back off your spread, said it was begging for trouble. Over coffee, I spill the scam. His face darkens. Figures. Karen treats that place like her kingdom. Robert just nods along. I bailed when she pushed rules on mailbox fonts. I pitch. "Help me peek at old financials from your time. The capital plan, reserves." His eyes spark. Smart, historical ask, they'll bite. He files it. They set a supervised view. No copies. We roll in, Harold playing frail elder, me as aide. A burly watchdog hovers. Binder drops. And holy crap, the mess screams. Reserves rated for consultants. Fat checks to a firm in Karen's old name for landscaping. Legal bills off the charts. Then jackpot. A 1.5 mil wire from Prestige pre-seizure, memo. Expansion prep deposit. Bribery, plain as day. While Harold distracts with pool supply chit-chat, I snap a pic under the table. Boom. Felony fuel. "We bail," Harold puzzled. "That's it?" "Phase 1, I say, mind worrying. Now we flip the script." That slip shifted everything, from reclaiming to wrecking. I compile a monster report. Ownership proof, harassment timeline, Harold's insider dirt on the board's fear factory, financial guts showing embezzlement, self-deals, and that damning wire proving conspiracy. Copies to DA, AG, FBI, victim and expert at your service. But justice crawls. I wanted now pain. Deep in their docs, I spot gold. Original dev loan. Liens never cleared on most homes due to Robert's sloppy accounting. Buried deep. I hire title pros. Bingo, 85% properties ghost liened. Through a debt shark, I snagged the whole bundle for $250K. Now I own their debt. Letters fly to every homeowner. Board's crimes exposed, FBI probe mentioned, default triggered, cough up $60K each or I foreclose. Chaos erupts. Social feeds blow up. Karen's denial post flops as a lawyer verifies the liens. Then, feds raid, black cars snake in, agents haul boxes, Karen and Robert cuffed, neighbor vid goes viral. Her empire crumbles. Emergency meet on the lawn, screams for resignations, board folds. Karen's plea flops amid Harold's mocking clap. New crew begs terms. Buy back my ranch at premium, fix damages. plant a thick tree screen, apologize publicly, cover my costs, and per home lie in forgiveness for affidavits nailing the Vances. They cave. Special fees sting 'em all. Ironic twist. Affidavits flood. Karen shaking down for favors. Robert funneling cash to kin. Land's mine again. Trees up. Vance's plea out. Her to 4 years club fed. Him probation. Fiduciary blackball. They flip their palace. End up in a dingy rental. Willow Creek loosens up, ditching dumb rules. Was it overkill? Maybe. But they started it. Coveting my roots for profit, blinded by greed and control. Justice or vengeance? You tell me in the comments. Ever tangle with a rogue HOA? Right or wrong here? Share your take on community power gone wild. Hit subscribe if standing tall against bullies hits home.